Hey everyone, welcome back to your channel name. Today we're diving into what might be the biggest episode of From Season 4 so far, Episode 7, Best Laid Plans. The official synopsis drops a bomb, as Tabitha and Jade's troubling history is brought to light. Things begin to unravel for another resident in town. Boyd wants to test a dangerous theory. If you thought the reincarnation reveal was wild, you have no idea what's coming. Dark pasts, possible betrayal, death cycles, and a plan that could end everyone. Smash that like button if you're ready for spoilers, leaks, and theories, and let's break this down. Before we get started, huge disclaimer, this is based on the official trailer, episode synopsis, previous episodes, and credible plot leaks floating around. The episode drops on June the 7th, so consider this your full breakdown and prediction video. Today we're covering the following: Tabitha's and Jade's full dark past exposed, why their history is troubling, and not just tragic, Boyd's dangerous theory, who's about to unravel, major predictions for the episode. Quick catch up, we now know Tabitha is the reincarnation of Miranda, and Jade is the reincarnation of Christopher. They were together in a past life. They had a child, one of the sacrificed kids. They tried to stop the ritual that created this nightmare town and they failed. Multiple cycles, multiple deaths. In every loop, Jade gets killed by the townspeople themselves. And according to visions, Tabitha gets it even worse. This isn't random bad luck, this feels like punishment, or a curse they can't escape. Jade's been pushing hard this season, remembering more and more. Tabitha's been hesitant, still grieving Jim. Their tension is building. Here's where episode 7 goes dark. The trailer and leaks suggest we're getting the full, unfiltered version of their history. Not just that they failed to save the children, but why they failed, and what they might have done. The word, troubling history, is deliberate, not tragic. Troubling, that implies guilt, moral gray area, maybe even something sinister. Theory 1, they were involved in the original ritual. Maybe they tried to stop it, but only after participating, or they sacrificed something important to try and gain power. Theory 2, their child wasn't taken, they offered the child. Horrifying, but it would explain the endless punishment. Parents who failed their own kid in the worst way possible. Theory 3, they're the reason the cycle exists. Every time they get close to breaking it, the town, or the entity, resets them. Their souls are trapped in an eternal loop as the heroes, who always fail. We're likely getting flashbacks or intense visions in episode 7, showing their past deaths, Jade being torn apart by townspeople, Tabitha suffering something far worse. While Tabitha's and Jade's past explodes, Boyd is done waiting. He wants to test a dangerous theory, probably going through that hidden door This is the best laid plans part. Everything that can go wrong will. Predictions, Boyd, Jade, and maybe Tabitha go into the tunnels where the monsters sleep. They're looking for the original children's remains or the source of the curse. The plan involves using the music, the symbols, or even a blood ritual. But with Tabitha and Jade's dark history coming out publicly, trust breaks. Someone in town might turn on them. The synopsis says, things begin to unravel for another resident. My top suspects, Henry, after that blood in his drink, he might fully lose it or transform. Kenny, leadership pressure plus family trauma. Ellis or Fatima, their baby storyline is already dark. Victor, learning the full truth about his mother, Tabitha, could destroy him. I'm betting on a major death or breakdown in this episode. The town turns on Jade when the full past comes out. Looking at the trailer, Tabitha looks terrified during a confrontation. Jade is more determined than ever. Boyd's speech about one chance. Monster activity seems higher than normal. This episode is the turning point of season 4. Big picture, Tabitha and Jade aren't just victims. They might be the reason this town exists. Their dark past could be the key to breaking the cycle or dooming everyone forever. If they fail again this cycle, is this the last one? What if everything we thought we knew about Tabitha and Jade was a lie? What if the answers to the town's terrifying mystery have been right in front of us all along, but hidden deep inside memories no one was ever supposed to remember? Because according to a shocking new plot leak for From Season 4 Episode 7, the secrets surrounding Tabitha and Jade are about to explode in ways no one saw coming, and by the end of this episode, nothing in this nightmare town may ever be the same again. The biggest mystery of From has always been simple. Why are these people trapped here? Why this town? Why these monsters? Why do some people hear voices while others see impossible things? But episode the 7th of May finally begin connecting all the pieces together, and the terrifying truth appears to revolve around two people more than anyone else, Tabitha and Jade. Now if this leak turns out to be true, we're looking at one of the darkest and most emotional episodes the series has ever done, because instead of introducing new mysteries, episode the 7th of May completely unraveled the past, showing us that Tabitha and Jade have been tied to this place for much longer than anyone ever imagined. And trust me, what gets revealed may completely change how fans see both characters forever. The episode reportedly opens in absolute chaos. After the failed events of episode 6, tension is already exploding across the town. Food shortages are getting worse. Fear is spreading. People are beginning to lose hope. And perhaps most dangerous of all, people are starting to turn on each other. Because at this point, nobody trusts anyone. Boyd is reportedly under immense pressure, struggling to hold everything together while whispers begin spreading that maybe his decisions have only made things worse. Some residents supposedly begin questioning whether Boyd is actually helping, or whether every attempt to escape is only bringing the town closer to destruction. But while everyone is distracted by fear and survival, something much darker begins happening behind the scenes. Tabitha starts experiencing terrifying visions again, only this time they're different. Instead of strange symbols or fragmented nightmares, she reportedly begins seeing moments from her own childhood, except they don't make sense. Imagine this. Tabitha sees herself as a little girl standing somewhere unfamiliar. There's fog everywhere, trees surrounding her, the sound of people whispering in the distance. And then she sees something impossible, a symbol carved into wood, the exact same symbol Jade has been obsessing over. At first, she reportedly assumes it's another trick by the town, another hallucination designed to break her mentally. But the visions don't stop. In fact, they get worse. She begins hearing voices calling her name, not in the terrifying monster way we're used to, but almost like someone desperately trying to remind her of something forgotten. And then comes the moment that changes everything. According to the leak, Tabitha supposedly remembers a name, not a random name, a name tied to someone she once knew, someone connected to her family, someone who may have disappeared years ago under mysterious circumstances. And somehow that name connects directly to Jade. Now hold on, because this is where things reportedly become insane. At almost the exact same time Tabitha starts remembering strange details about her childhood, Jade begins experiencing his own mental breakdown. And honestly, Jade has probably been heading toward this moment for a long time. Ever since arriving in town, Jade has been obsessed with patterns, symbols, logic, and trying to outsmart the impossible. But what happens when the impossible begins fighting back? The leak suggests Jade starts seeing things that feel less like hallucinations and more like memories. He reportedly sees flashes of an old house, a basement, a hidden room, old photographs, and among those photographs, a young girl, a girl who appears disturbingly similar to Tabitha. At first, Jade thinks he's losing his mind again, but the visions keep returning. And then comes the terrifying twist. He allegedly discovers evidence suggesting he may have crossed paths with Tabitha decades ago. Not here in the town, but in the real world. Long before either of them remembered. Long before they were trapped. And if this sounds impossible, that's exactly the point. Because the theory behind this leak suggests something absolutely horrifying. What if Tabitha and Jade were chosen years? What if this place has always been watching them? Think about it. The town doesn't seem random. Certain people hear voices. Certain people see symbols. Certain people are pushed toward specific discoveries. It almost feels selective, intentional, like everyone is playing a role in a story they never agreed to join. And if that's true, then maybe Tabitha and Jade were never accidental victims. Maybe they were always meant to come here. But why? Well, according to the supposed leak, the answer may involve a deeply disturbing, shared history neither of them remembers. Apparently, Episode 7 begins exposing the possibility that both families were connected to a mysterious incident years ago, an event involving missing children, strange disappearances, and disturbing rumors that were quietly buried. Now this could explain so much. Why Tabitha seems unusually connected to the town. Why Jade immediately started seeing symbols no one else understood. Why certain visions seem drawn specifically toward them. And perhaps most importantly, why the town keeps pulling them together. Because if this leak is accurate, Tabitha and Jade may unknowingly share a trauma neither of them fully survived. And the scariest part, someone in the town may already know the truth. There are rumors. Episode 7 introduces a deeply unsettling conversation involving Victor. And if you know from, then you already understand why that matters. Victor always knows more than he says. Always. The leak claims Victor finally reacts differently after seeing something Tabitha draws during one of her visions. Apparently, she sketches part of a memory without realizing it. An old playground, broken swings, a strange building nearby, and Victor reportedly freezes. Completely freezes, because he recognizes it. Not from town, from before. And this is where fans may lose their minds. Victor allegedly asks a question so disturbing it changes the entire direction of the episode. He looks at Tabitha and quietly says, "Why are you remembering that place?" Not, "What is that?" Not, "Where is that?" But why are you remembering it? Meaning Victor may already know the location. Meaning Victor may know what happened there. Meaning Victor has possibly been hiding information for years. And honestly, would anyone even be surprised at this point? Victor has always felt like the human bridge between the town and the truth. But every time answers get close, he shuts down emotionally. Like he's protecting people or protecting himself. Because maybe the truth is worse than anyone imagined. Now, according to the leak, Jade becomes increasingly unstable as the episode continues. And this part sounds terrifying. Apparently, he starts becoming obsessed with unlocking memories he isn't even sure belong to him. He allegedly believes the town is suppressing something, not creating hallucinations, suppressing memories. That changes